Welcome to the C.S. Joseph Podcast. I'm your host, C.S. Joseph, and we are doing Acolyte questions today. And today's question is a little bit interesting. Comes from a 22-year-old ENTP asking for basically career advice or kind of life advice about the direction that he should be going. The question that he asked is a very informative wall of text related question. So I'm just going to try to summarize it here for the benefit of the audience. But basically what he's asking is that should I continue to go to college to make my dad happy, or should I do something that I actually love, etc.? And the reason why is because his FE child is feeling guilty right now about potentially letting his dad down. His dad's funding his college education. His dad also owns a business basically, and wants him to eventually take over that business one day. And as near as I can tell, based on the question itself, I really don't think that his dad is actually trying to put him into college because he actually cares about a college education. I don't think his dad cares. I think with his dad, being an ENTJ, because he did share his type, I really actually think that his ENTJ father is looking for something from his ENTP son that he may have doubts about. And usually, like when ENTJs do this in life, I've noticed something that it almost always comes down to one particular thing, work ethic. And I think his ENTJ father is trying to get his son to prove to him that he actually has a work ethic, so that his ENTJ father would trust him in potentially taking over the business or being involved in the family business at one point in time. And I think that it would be fair to assume that his ENTJ father is wanting to go get a college education so that he can prove to him over a serious amount of time that he actually, has the work ethic to do it. So I don't think this question really is actually about, should I just do something that I love, or should I go to college to make my dad happy? I really don't think it's about that. I really actually think it's about developing one's own work ethic. Because, for example, if this guy went up to his dad and just straight up asked him, okay, are you actually sending me to college because you care about a college education, or are you actually just trying to get me to prove work ethic to you? And if so, I'd rather not feel guilty or feel bad about myself going to college, potentially wasting your money and wasting my time there. How about not having a risk of waste, and you just tell me what other ways, especially things that don't cost as much time and money, that would prove to you that I actually have a capable work ethic, etc. And that's the thing. It's so hard to prove to SE child. Very hard. It's very hard to prove to SE child that there is a work ethic. Oh, I don't know why Siri just decided.
To do that, you'll need to be online.
No, shut up. Go away. Apparently, Siri likes to bother me on every single one of my devices. Good times. So yeah, I really think this is a conversation about how his ENTP son can prove to him that he has great work ethic. And there are a lot of different ways to do that. I would actually recommend going through some kind of entrepreneurship training for this ENTP. And to start that entrepreneurship training, so here's some recommendations. Because ENTPs can have amazing work ethic. They absolutely can. They can outwork everybody else. Literally, no one can outwork an ENTP. It is actually they can out-effort and outwork everyone. They really can with SI aspirational. They really can. The thing is, though, is that why? Why are they working hard? What's the point? You see what I'm saying? That's what needs to matter to the ENTP. But they're really not going to do that. And going and getting a college education, honestly, his dad needs to understand that he's setting up his son for failure. Making your son go through college education when that TI parents will be and that pragmatism will be this is a waste of time. So he's end up going to be wasting his time there. He's also going to be wasting his dad's money. He's eventually likely going to drop out, just like Steve Jobs, the ENTP, did. And his dad's further going to judge him about lacking work ethic, when the reality is his dad actually technically set him up for failure going for that college education. So here's how to not set him up for failure. Okay? Go read the Entrepreneurship 15 at csjoseph.life/reading. Every ENTP potential entrepreneur should do this, because an ENTP should really be working for themselves, just like Benjamin Franklin did, for example, who was an entrepreneur on his own right. Go figure that out. Go figure out how business is actually done, and those books will teach you how business is done today. It talks a lot about sales, marketing, customer service, how to deal with employees, specific goals, etc. You just got to find that one thing that you like to do and do it with all your might, right? That's like even biblical. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shoot, if you want to turn a business out of, World of Warcraft, you can. Or your love of Warhammer 40K, you can. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So yeah, in answering his original question, technically, yes, it is more important to do what you love. But again, the reason this is happening is because of your father's desire to understand, if you as an ENTP with SI inferior, because you look weak, because you have SI inferior, you look lazy because you have SI inferior, you look like you have no work ethic. You have to prove that you have work ethic. And honestly, I just ignore your dad, not go to college education, go start your own business based on the books in the Entrepreneurship 15. And by the way, the Traction book in that list, it says Entrepreneurship 16. Ignore that. It's bullshit. I hate that book. It's going to be taken down. But read the rest. And also when you get to Launch, which is like book 5 in the list, make sure you get 2nd edition, not 1st edition, because and that's also the most important book in the entire thing. But prove to your dad that you can actually run a business and actually make a profit. And that's how you prove work ethic. And then he'll cut you in on the business. It's really not that hard. Do that. Besides, you're young, you're 22, you should be doing that anyway. I became inspired to do this business because I read Gary Vaynerchuk's book, Crush It, one day, who was recommended to me by by one of my friends. And it was very inspiring, and now I'm here, and now I did this, and now I have an audience, now we have a business, now we have software, which is fantastic, and it's just getting better and better. So folks, understand what that's all about. Understand, it really comes down to proving that work ethic. And if this guy can prove work ethic to his dad by making his own business, great. That'll solve the problem. He'd be a lot happier anyway, and then he won't have to deal with the lifelong guilt of the fact that he screwed his dad out of money because because his dad set him up for failure by asking him to go get a college education, which is an absolute waste of time. Send your daughters to school. Don't send your sons to school. Come on. Seriously. College education is for women now. Let's be honest. It's really just for women. I mean, there's so many ways that show that that's true. So, just don't. Go get your own skills and be your own person, and don't, follow the bouncing ball. Live your own life. Your dad is just setting you up for failure. Don't listen to him, and just prove work ethic. If you just prove work ethic, everything will be fine, and you won't have to worry about it anymore, and then he'll get off your back, and then he'll cut you into the business, and then you're good. And then that way you've saved yourself a lot of lifelong debt and guilt, as a result of that horrible situation. So anyway, I think that answers that question. If you folks have any other questions that you would like me to answer with a video response, become an Acolyte member. You can do that at csjoseph.life/members. Sign up for Journeyman and then upgrade to Acolyte from there. Or if you already are a Journeyman member, upgrade to Acolyte at csjoseph.life/portal. Just click the Acolyte page there, and then you can upgrade your account from there. And I'll be happy to keep answering these questions. So anyway, folks, thanks for watching and listening, and I'll see you guys tonight.
You stole my heart of gold after my silver soul. Can